Welcome. In this video, I'm going to showcase the new version or the first official release of a new open source project I've started, and it's called WFCForge. So it's a tool to generate art for games and like any art in general, based on a principle or technique called wave function collapse. There are a lot of implementations available outside, but there aren't many implementations that are purely for application. Mainly there are libraries or things like that, or demo scenes or demos where it's meant to showcase how the algorithm works, not use it in daily life. All right. So this tool is basically focused on that. So how does this work? You can see there are many options. Now some options are disabled, or rather will be implemented in the next version. For example, this is version 0.1, so this will be implemented in version 0.2. This will be implemented in version 0.3. All right, there are things like that. So basically, whenever you start up the application, this is what you will see. There will be a viewport, big viewport out over here, and a controls panel out here. All right. So how does this work? For example, there is a tile resolution out here. So what we I'm talking of tiled model from now on, right? So what we do is we select tiles. So for example, let's take tileable textures, and we select the tiles, and if we feed the tiles into the application. Now the application will automatically figure out how to place the tiles, or rather you can also set up some rules how to place the tiles, and it will interactively place the tiles and create a new tile map. All right, so let me show you it in action. All right, first we need one thing I would suggest is whenever you're loading a tile, like you can click add tile to load a tile from your hard drive. But one thing I would suggest is keep the resolution of this, keep the tile resolution out here same as the tile resolution of the image of the tile you're trying to load. Like this is because it will help in further processing that. Like if you do that, then a lot of things might get automatically processed. Also, the quality of the image will be better. However, like if you are changing the resolution, it will automatically be resized, so you can do that. All right. Now, tile map size is the number of tiles, the tile count in the x and y axes. All right, so that is one thing. Now let me add a tile. So you can click add tile and click open up a tile. Now it will open up a pop-up rather than adding it. So we have not added the tile yet. So what does this pop-up show? It will show you a preview of the tile and a check mark saying add rotated version. So you can add this tile as it is. If I check this off and click add, you can see only this tile is added. Now if you see tiles in tile set, and the tile set or the tiles in the tiles that are loaded out here will be shown out here. You can just right click and delete it. Now again add tile. If I just check add rotated versions right here and click add, you can see all the rotated versions are added. One more thing, if I just try to add this again, see nothing happens because it automatically removes all the duplicates. All right, so that's it. Now let's add all the tiles. So all right, let's just work with these tiles. The next thing is prepare tile map. You can see there is a tile map. You get to prepare the tile map for actually setting up the tiles. So whenever we click prepare tile map, you can see a lot more options pop up. Now I'm coming through them one by one. Now these things are the tiles to select a tile. This is to make the output tileable. I'm coming to this a bit later. All right. So first is auto collapse next and auto collapse all. What does these do? Well, auto collapse next is finding out the tile with collapses the next tile according to the algorithm. It selects the next tile and collapses it. For example, if I click it now, it will select the next tile and collapse it. And click it now, it will select the next tile and collapse it. All right. So that is entire thing is automatic. Now if I want to do it manually, I can just right click on a tile. For example, if I just right click here, I can see the options of tiles that are available to me. That is these are the valid options available. We can place. For example, if I place that, all right. So if I right click here now, you can see the tile has already been collapsed. I mean, this tile has already been collapsed, so I cannot there are no valid options for that. So if I just click now, there is another option is force set tile to. That is forcefully setting the tile to a particular tile. Now this is used for cases whenever you're trying to direct you're trying to modify the generated art according to your own will before exporting it. So you can do that. So I'll do that out here. You can see I can manually set the tile to. All right. And now you can see there are automatically options that are showing up. Now you can see there's one mistake. Now whenever I'm this is an empty tile, right? This is supposed to be an empty tile. But whenever I'm trying to add a tile, you can see the tile is already collapsed. Now the issue is, let me just collapse all. You see, this is garbage because the rules for how tiles are to be collapsed are not set up. How to set that up? Whenever you click in a tile, you can see each tile has some IDs. For example, each tile has 4 faces, right? 4 faces have 4 IDs. Now the software automatically generates some IDs, but the quality of these IDs will be dependent on the quality of your textures, right? So for example, in this case, the IDs are quite perfect, but things are not set up. You can see, we can click configure neighbors. You can see all the 4 neighbors of this are empty. So these are the list of neighbors, right? You can click that. See, allowed tiles are none. So again, neighbors are not allowed. So these tiles are already being collapsed. So if we just add a neighbor out here and back and okay, if I just now how to clear this up and regenerate it, just click clean, click prepare again, and click auto collapse all. You can see now we're getting something, right? Now this is all right, but how this is not right? We have to set up all the rules. Now there's a shortcut that is auto configure tile neighbors. So you can see there are IDs. For example, the top of this is has this ID, right? Now this can be joined with the bottom of this. All right. So the top of this has ID this. Now it will be same as the ID of bottom of this. You can see the top of this and the bottom of this have the same ID. Thus this can be joined with this. All right. So like that, all the faces have four IDs for four sites, and the IDs match accordingly. Now, like this is automatically generated by the software itself, so you can manually edit it. For example, if I can just increment it, decrement it, or I can just change the value directly. That is all possible. However, like for some cases, in this case, we can just let this be, because already for our this tile map, we can see the values are quite accurate. Alright, so if I just click auto configure neighbor tiles or tile neighbors, alright, and then go ahead and check the configuration of the neighbors, you can see the neighbors are already configured. Right, this tile can have only these two as under it. Alright, you can see the neighbors are already configured. Now you can just go back, and if I just say clean it up, prepare tile map, and auto collapse all, we can see we are getting a brand new tile map. Right, this is a proper design now. Clean it up, prepare tile map, again collapse all. We're getting the same thing. If you want a new thing, just change the seed, clean it, prepare that, collapse all. You can see a new tile map is being generated. Alright. Now, one more thing. What is this make output tileable thing? Right. Let's just generate one like that. Now you can see it's always right. So you can just click that up here and collapse all. Now you can see every output is tiled. For example, this is going out from here. This is coming in from here. This is going out. This is coming in. This is going out. This is coming in. Now this makes sure that the output is tileable. For example, we'll understand it better whenever we are adding more tiles. Alright. So add tiles. Now let's add this. Alright. Let's add this. Yeah, I want the rotated versions. You can see the rotated versions are already being added accordingly. Now this one. Alright, this one, and finally this one. Alright, so we have added all the tiles. You can see a lot of tiles are there. The next thing is, again, we have to auto configure that, because otherwise things will be random, or the rules will not be there, so things won't work. Now again, after adding the tiles, we can auto configure it and preparing tile map and auto collapse all. We can see our tile map is prepared. Now this tile is not collapsed. We can manually collapse it to something like that. Right, our tile map is there. We can just change the seed, clean it up, again collapse all. Right, a new tile map is there. Now one tile is not collapsed. You can manually collapse it. Now the next thing is one more thing. Now let's say like this. So whenever something is going out, for example, it is not necessary that it will come in, right? For example, this pipe is going out from here, but it is not coming in from here. All right. So to make sure that this texture is tileable, so you can tile this texture out. You can click that. All right. Clean it up. All right. Click this out, and then auto collapse. You can see whenever it is going out, it is coming in. Whenever it is going out, it is coming in. All right. So it automatically generates that. Now again, it will be like you can tile this texture now. Alright, so the next thing is generating tile maps interactively. Alright, this is not just automatic, but also you can interactively generate the tile maps. So let's see how we can do it. For example, after preparing the tile map, so like at this, I prepared the tile map. Right now, if I just go ahead and click here, you can see the options of valid tiles out here. You can see we can click that, and we have got this valid tile. If I click here again, the number of options of valid tile have reduced, because now it's showing only the tiles that are valid with respect to this. Alright, so again, let me just click, and I'm just creating a blank area out here. Alright, let me just create a blank area. Alright, let's just create that. Again, let's just create a blank area. Like suppose we are designing a game. So let me just design the floor. Alright, so we are done. Now let's just, we can just go ahead and click auto collapse all. And you can see this area is blank according to our own design. And the rest is, the pipes are there, alright? So you can see, you can interactively change how this works. Also, if you just click make tile, it will make tile textures for that. Again, let's try that. Alright, so we can do that. Random pipe out here. Now if I just click auto collapse all, you can see our tile output. We can get like it's a proper game map. Alright, like we can use this as a map in our games. You can see we can interactively generate tiles. So this is not generated. We can just manually place something out here. So let's place this one. Right now, you can see things are interactively generated. Now that's one benefit. Now how to export it? We have generated our tile map. Now we have to export it. We can just click export image out here and say output.png and click save out here. Now if I just go ahead and check out the set one, right? Yeah, no, set 2. Yeah, the output.png. You can see our image being exported right here. Alright. So the next thing is about the tile map size. Now if I just increase the tile map size to something like 30 by 30, and I click apply, then just click prepare tile map and auto collapse all, you can see it's generating a 30 by 30 tile map, a huge 30 by 30 tile map. Alright. Now this is a feature. You can just automatically generate huge tile maps, huge artworks easily. Now you can also change the rules according to yourselves with this and have custom outputs. For example, let's try a new tile map or a new tile set. Alright, so let's add tiles. Alright, this is the issue of adding a tile with a different resolution. So sometimes you can see the picture quality is being it's degrading a lot. So let's just increase the resolution from 10 pixels to something like 48. See, whenever you're changing the pixels, just changing it won't matter. You have to click apply for that to work. Now you can see like I told, there are, it automatically reduces removes duplicates. So you can see duplicates are there, but they are not duplicates. You see, this one and this one is completely different, because you see this is dark, this is bright, this is bright, this is dark. Alright, This is how it works. It works on the images hash, so even a single difference will make the image completely different. Alright, so let's try it. Okay, prepare. Okay, again cleaned up. Prepare tile map, make it tileable. Auto collapse all. Again, it's too big. It's too big. Let's see 10 by 10. Apply change. Prepare. Clean. Prepare. Again collapse. And you can see there is a lot of mistakes. So that's the problem with using tile maps. That some tile maps that all the time is this auto configure tile neighbors is not going to work. So you have to manually configure them, right? So let me delete the duplicates first. Right, so deleted duplicates. Now we have to set up the manual tile arrangements, or rather we can just set up the IDs too. Let's try setting up IDs for this one. You can see it has got some wrong neighbors. So let's set up the IDs for it so that the neighbors are correct. So whenever there is a connection, I will set it to 1. Whenever there is not a connection, I will set it to 0, right? So the first one, top, there is no connection, so 0. Then right, there is no connection, 0. Bottom, there is a connection. Left, there is a connection, alright? Let's do this for the other. Alright, so I've set up the connections now. Next thing you need to do is click auto configure tiles neighbors, alright? Click that. Now if I just go ahead and take a look here, you can see the neighbors are properly configured, alright? You can see the neighbors are properly configured. And you can just click clean out here, prepare, and auto collapse all. You can see logical tiles are there. Now again, this is not tileable, so let's do tileable output. Change the seed a bit and click tileable output. You can see a tileable like pipelines out there, like nice little pipelines. So increase the resolution to say like 100 by 100. Now this will be slow. This will be slow for sure. This will be slow, but then again, it's generating a lot. It's generating a huge texture, right? So auto collapse. Let's wait for a while. Alright, you can see a huge network of tile pipelines generated. Now this is perfectly correct. If we can export this, I'm not going to export. I'm going to export this. So this is all.png. Alright, so we've got this. Let's export it first. Now it's going to be a huge tile map. So I'll just show you in a moment. Let's clean it up. Alright, let's see what exactly the tile map's resolution is. Alright, okay. So it's in puzzle pipes again. Alright, so let's see that. You can see it's almost a 4K picture or 5K picture. 5K by 5K. If I just open it up in Chrome, again it's a transparent picture. You can see our tile map, our like pipelines are generated, nice little pipelines. You can add this in a game, you can add this anywhere you want, right? So this is an interesting thing. The next thing is let's clear it up. Let's reduce the size a bit, 10 by 10. Apply. Let's try and interactively generate something. Now let's add an empty tile. So transparent out here. There's a transparent tile I need out here. Add it up. Alright, so let's just try and again make something interesting now. Transparent for transparent tile, everything should be 0. Alright, let's click auto configure neighbors and clean it up and prepare tile map. And you can see our tile map is empty. We can just start our crafting. So first let's just do the ends. Alright, the ends. I want to cover this entire. Alright, see it's automatically suggesting me what exactly are possible. What exactly are the possibilities. You can manually generate pixel art too. You can manually generate tile maps too, right? This is not necessarily generating tile maps with procedural generation. You can use this tool to manually generate tile maps too, right? You can see I'm doing that right now, and that's very convenient. You can see it's convenient because it's automatically suggesting me the possible tiles that I can use and automatically filling up the gaps that I may not like filling up automatically things that can be filled up by calculation. Alright, so that's great. Alright, let's just make it tileable and create auto collapse all. Alright, we have got our tiles. You can see an interesting set of tiles are there. You can export it and use it somewhere. Let's try another set of tiles. Alright, let's increase this to 128, or rather let's try the circuit board one. 14, apply changes, add tiles at one from here. Alright, let's just try and generating with this itself. So auto configure neighbors. I am not very sure how well it is going to configure. Let's just test it. Alright, so auto collapse all, and it's quite alright. It's quite alright. Again, there are some issues. Out here. Let's clean it up. Auto configure neighbors and prepare it again. Make output tileable and collapse all. Alright, you can see there are some issues. Obviously, there are some issues. We can go ahead and fix that one by one, or rather manually fix that. Let's try and manually do that. Alright, so I can just go ahead and do this one. You can see manually fixing stuff. Okay. Now the thing is, there are mistakes out here, but that's not due to the program's fault. That's due to the random guesses that it's making. It's trying to make to calculate the neighbors. Now let's try an interesting one. Now clear tiles, automatically clear all the tiles. For setting up the tiles. Now that's the second part of the application. Now for this case, the IDs are completely wrong, or rather mostly wrong, and it's better to select using configure neighbors option. You can see neighbors are empty. Let's select that. What can be above this? What can be above this? Well, okay, there can be this one, this one, this one, right? There can be an island above it. This one can be above it, but C or waves cannot be above it, alright? So go back, we're setting up, done setting up this one, right? Let's set up this one. Right. At this display, we are seeing the last added item, alright? So we can click on an item to remove it. Again, we can click on item to add it. Now with this side of this one, what can be on the right side of this tile? This can be there, this can be there. Nothing else can be there, alright? What can be on the left side of this tile? Empty tile can be there, another tile can be there. Nothing else, right? Nothing else. What can be under this tile? This cushion can be there, and empty tile can be there. This cannot be there because this is under this, alright? So this can be there, this can be there, this can be there. Okay, next. Okay, we are done with this tile. Next, let's figure out this one. Map, auto collapse all. There are issues, alright? There are issues. How to fix those issues? How to fix those issues? Clean it up. Clear tiles. Now for these cases, it's better to do manually. Manually set up the tiles, alright? How to do that? Let's see. Now there are some issues with the rendering that might be there, so just avoid it for now. So let's create an island out here. Island. Now see automatically suggesting the tiles which I should use, right? Now under this, I need an empty tile. This is an empty tile. Again, this tile is already collapsed. Again, an empty tile. Now I need a C out here, right? A C out here. You can see a C is already being added. Just adding a tile. Let's add one more island out here. Again, small island. Again, add another island out here. Alright, add another island out here. Okay, I can add one more. Alright, so you can add islands. Now if I want, you can just export it. And I'll say, okay, this folder. Use it. So with this, we come to an end of this demonstration. So you can go ahead and download this application from the link in the description. Also, because it will be a free and open source application. Also, I'll give the source to the link to the GitHub repository in the description of this video. Thanks for watching.